Cutman, these 2 blocks, you pick him up, you toss him at him, he's gone, dead in 2 hits. Unless you miss. Then the battle gets a little interesting. Well, maybe I can take him down to half health. Maybe not. I have scissors now, and scissors cut wires, I guess? So, Electman is next, I suppose. And you know how I said that you can go through the entire game in any order you please, choosing any stage? Well, you can't go to Electman first. Okay, yes, technically you can, but it's an awful idea. Let me tell you why. First of all, you've got these enemies that zip back and forth on the platforms. If you hit them with... I so had that! Look, I jumped, it was... Check out the bottom of the screen. Isn't that a really cool little glitch? I like that. But I digress. You'll notice me firing to the right here. That's because when I reach the top of the ladder, I'll actually be facing Electman. Normally you're facing the other way, and that coward, he'll shoot you in the back. Even if you toss Gutsman's weapon, which you wouldn't have if you came here first, that's not anything to write home about. So these green enemies are really neat because even though you won't see it here, if you hit them in the torso instead, their heads will pop off and start flying around and they'll start trying to pound your skull in. I think this is great. Mega Man is one of the few games of the time period, at least that I've played, that actually has enemies that are affected differently depending on where you shoot them. I think this is pretty cool. It certainly adds a different element of challenge to the stage enemies. And running backwards through doors because you're able to slide is another thing that I love about ice stages. And then, of course, we've got these penguins. Does Dr. Wily have an automatic penguin factory that just keeps pumping them out, or did he handcraft every single one of the 70,000 that I've blown to pieces? But Iceman gets the last laugh, just like Cutman. What am I doing down there? It doesn't make any sense. Oh, stop looking at me like that. You already know I'm crazy. Collecting power-ups that refill your health makes you look unstupid. Here's what I want you to notice. You know how I've got the point total running at the top of the screen? Clear points for this stage, 60,000. Clear points for Iceman stage, 10,000 less. How is that fair? That stage was so much harder, even though I did better at it than this one. Hey, taxi over here. Look at that, a spaceship taxi. That's awesome. This guy is awesome. I would be wiggling my eyebrows if I had a spaceship taxi. Now, a word about special weapons. Use special weapons in the Dr. Wily stages. Hoo-ha! And speaking of game overs, it's my best friends in the whole world. Except now, there are spikes on the ceiling. Woohoo! And if you stand around on the platforms too long, they will very gradually take you up into the ceiling, and pop goes the Mega Man. Ugh. This is one of the most iconic boss battles in Mega Man history. It's the Yellow Devil. Some people call him the Clay Golem or the Mud Man. Some people have their own choice 4-letter words to describe him that I won't be repeating here. Dead boss. I highly approve. And we're fighting the helicopter enemies again. I say we because really you're playing vicariously through me right now. What? Ah! Okay, hole in the floor. Oh, Electman, eh? Watch this. I almost didn't have to move, is that? Well, I loved that, all the power-ups showering on my head. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, well, I look like a doofus sometimes, that's how it goes. Really, nothing all that exciting. Okay, that was exciting. Very careful to make sure that you hit them. And this is the thing that bugs me about this boss battle. After hitting the final enemy, there's no big kaboom. It's just, boop, they're gone. Anywho, you want to see something really cool? Watch this. Isn't that great? At least, well, I think so. But then again, I'm easily amused. No, your eyes are not deceiving you. That is actually a ceiling filled with Gutsmans. Why? I don't think anybody knows. I mean, it just doesn't make any sense. Hey, it's time for Bomb Man. This is the boss battle gauntlet. 4 boss battles in a row with no breaks and no power-ups. And the best part is that if you die, you have to start all over at the beginning. Ooh. Will I survive? Am I gonna make it? This does not look good. That would be a yes. Yeah, that's right, Dr. Wily. Beg for mercy. Plead for your forgiveness. Mega Man will not hear you. He closes his eyes. Nobody really knows what happens to Dr. Wily at this point. I mean, maybe Mega Man lets him off on good behavior, or maybe he gets thrown into a minimum security prison. Doesn't matter, because you beat him. Ta-da! Alright, now it's time for the end credits. Now, normally, just to amuse myself while I'm watching the end credits, I'll read all of the words that appear on the screen, all the names that scroll by, all of the end titles and all of that, but I figure I've probably made enough of a fool of myself as it is, so I'm just going to spare myself the humiliation, going to preserve a modicum of integrity, and just not read "Fight Rockman for everlasting peace" anything aloud, just to make sure that you don't need to suffer any more than you already have. However, I encourage you to read any of the words aloud that fly by the bottom of the screen, like staff, in whatever ridiculous voices you can muster, because it's just that much more fun that way. It breathes a little more life into the end credits, which are always the same. Now, as for Mega Man's wardrobe right now, I'm not sure that's the change of clothes I'd select after a long, difficult day of battling evil robots and maniacal scientists, but really, you gotta do what's comfortable. And, more power to him. He's rocking the Astro Boy look. So, Mega Man here is on the home stretch, and we're just about there to Dr. Light's laboratory, where Roll and Dr. Light are standing out there waiting for him to come home, letting their TV dinners go cold. My name is Nathaniel Hoover. This has been the original Mega Man. Thank you for joining me, and remember what we say: don't get eliminated!